Hi, I'm Tam Sanders of Tam's Green Eggs and Ham. I'm coming to you today for two reasons. One, because my kids think I should get into this century and learn how to vlog. So this is my first video blog. And the second reason is because I have a daughter who had MPS. And after speaking to many MPS parents, I have discovered that a lot of our children have experiences that are very similar, and they involve seeing something that most people think may not exist, but to these children it's very real. What I'm referring to is the fact that our kids see something that they connect with. I think that it may be angels. And if you've read my blogs, you'll see that I have had some other encounters with angels. But I promised one of the MPS mothers that I would share this story involving an angel and involving one of our kids. My daughter Tiffany Sanders, when she was little, she had a secondary issue, and it was called pica. Pica is something that sometimes pregnant women get, where they crave things that you shouldn't be eating, like Drano, dirt, stuff like that. I don't know what causes it. I haven't done that much study on it, but Tiffany had this issue, and she would eat everything she could get a hold of. So she would like slam doors into the wall so that she could break the drywall and eat the drywall. We had been in the hospital every holiday for something that she had ingested, from nails to gasoline to toxic plants, glass, you name it, she had ingested it. Well, this led us to a place where we had to create these arm braces for her. Actually, Children's Hospital did this for us, and it kept her arms stiff and straight. And the house that we lived in was very much like a penitentiary. Everything was on lockdown. She was not allowed to be anywhere without somebody watching her because she was so dangerous to herself. Well, one day, Tiffany was probably, she must have been about 4 or 5, and I noticed that our back gate was open. Tiffany had been in the house, and the back door was open, which is something that usually happened, but the back gate was also open, which meant that she could have gotten out. So I ran out really quick and looked, and both she and my little toddler, Cody, were both gone. I panicked. My son was a little bit older. He was about 7, and I asked him to run up to the street and see if Tiffany was up there. We lived on a 10-acre walnut ranch at the time, and it was kind of secluded. And it was up a country road, and the road was pretty quiet until about 5 o'clock at night, when all the traffic from the quarry up the road let out, and then it became like a freeway. Well, in order to get out to the road, you had to cross a bridge that went over a creek, and there was quite a drop. So as my son ran up the road looking for her, I ran down to where this bridge was. And I thought, oh my gosh, what if these two took off and fell in the creek? So I ran down to the road. I looked past the bridge and out just about to the road where the quiet country road, which was now a freeway, was getting very busy. I see my 2 little girls out at the very end of this road. And it was probably, I don't know, maybe 100 yards from where I was. And I saw them both out there and the cars zipping by. This was one of those moments in your life where you're so frightened you can't move. I remember freezing and watching and having a moment where I wished I could wake up. I didn't know what to do. I had to will my feet to move. So I put one foot in front of the other, and then I walked and I started to run so that I could catch my little girls before any of the cars out there hit them. Well, as I was running out there, they split up. One ran up the road and one ran down the road. Now, there are moments in time where you have to make choices, and they're horrible choices. And I had to choose which child I would save. I was certain that one would be hit by a car and killed. So as I got out to the end, I called up the road to the toddler. That was Cody. And I just screamed, "Cody, get back here and sit down by the mailbox." And she was my best chance for hoping that she would understand and obey. Tiffany didn't have any reasoning that she couldn't follow my directions. She didn't know how. And so I was hoping that Cody could. And I couldn't even stop to see if Cody had obeyed. I turned and I immediately started running after Tiff, who was heading down the road. Now, sometimes in life when you're in the middle of something horrible, there is this very strange commercial break that happens in the midst of all of it. This is where that happened. I noticed that Tiffany not only was way ahead of me down the road and the cars were zipping by and not a one of them was stopping, but I also noticed that Tiffany was naked. I hadn't noticed when I was running out, but then it dawned on me I had been running over clothes that she had discarded on the way. I don't know how she got them off because she had these arm braces on, but somehow she managed to strip off every piece of clothing. So she's running naked with arm braces down this very busy road and nobody is stopping. Commercial over. I started to take off after her, just screaming and hollering and hoping she would stop and turn around, but she didn't. She just kept running, and she was very fast. And then I knew it in my spirit. I was praying, but my mouth was just screaming. And as I headed down, I saw Tiffany do something very unusual. She looked like she hit an invisible brick wall. I didn't understand what was going on. But right now, I believe that what she hit was a very huge guardian angel. It didn't hurt her, but it stopped her, and she literally bounced back. And you could tell it shocked her and surprised her and stopped her long enough to where I could catch up and was able to get a hold of her. And I grabbed her little arms and marched her back and picked up my toddler on the way, who had obeyed me and was sitting by the mailbox waiting. And still no cars had stopped. But I knew that God, as busy as he might have been that day, had stopped long enough to send a messenger down. Tiffany's very gigantic, and I'm sure he visited more than once, guardian angel. And that's the story I wanted to share with you today. Thanks for listening.